Hello and welcome to another Views from the Valley, your roundup of the news here in the United States, coming to you from the v3.co.uk offices in San Francisco. With me as ever, Sean Nichols. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Ian.
Right, we had a break last week because I was over in the UK sorting out various issues. Right, but we've had a good crop of stories today. Now, I really wanted to focus on the first couple because they're kind of related. Now, you did a story first thing this morning about a bunch of security researchers who are taking a slightly more how can we say, confrontational attitude towards Microsoft.
Yeah, the story broke over the weekend. And that posting was made to the full disclosure, which is basically a security mailing list where people discuss and kind of talk about security vulnerabilities.
Some would say the security mailing list, but that's still in doubt.
Yeah, so this posting was made by a group of researchers who are basically saying they're really irked off at Microsoft about its handling of vulnerability reports. Specifically, they mentioned the Microsoft Help Center report that was surfaced in early June, I believe, and now it's been exploited many times. I think the last count was something around 10,000.
It's not looking good, put it that way.
A lot of people criticize the researcher who discovered and disclosed this flaw. Other people kind of run his side and saying companies really aren't doing enough to get these patched quickly. That's the angle these researchers are taking now. So they posted a new flaw, and basically said they're going to keep doing it because they don't like the way Microsoft treats researchers who report these vulnerabilities.
I have to say, I'm in two minds about this. I mean, this relates also to another story today of Secunia alerting people to a flaw before Microsoft did. It's a very tricky ethical issue because, on the one hand, you don't want to be encouraging attacks on computers.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, as you say, some companies, and Microsoft is not alone in this. I mean, Oracle, for example, I can remember doing a story years ago, took 2 years to patch critical vulnerabilities.
Apple is also, a lot of times a lot of researchers will criticize them for being very slow to patch vulnerabilities.
Well, they also sneaked out security vulnerability 2 or 3 weeks ago without actually telling people that it was a patch, which if you're trying to run an enterprise system, you really should know because it could influence your time as to how quickly you introduce that patch. I mean, okay, on one side you've got the researchers who say, the companies aren't doing enough, but on the other side there's the enterprise user and the consumer who needs to be protected against these vulnerabilities. I have to say I'm in two minds about this one because, really, you should give the company a reasonable amount of time. And the thing you mentioned from a couple of weeks ago, he gave them 3 days, which is when you've got to test that, patches over.
Well, especially for Microsoft, their system, they try and go with these monthly updates, and it's something that a lot of IT administrators, a lot of people we talk to say that's actually a really good thing because it lets them plan out their patching schedule, that sort of thing. On the other hand, when you do that, sometimes you have situations like this where potentially very dangerous flaws get kind of left unpatched. I guess like you said, I can see both sides to this.
I know, it's tricky. It's an ethical tightrope, really. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this group develops. I suspect what will happen is that Microsoft will meet with them, address some grievances, and the whole thing will collapse. I hope that it actually spurs Microsoft and other companies into patching these flaws a lot faster, but we're going to have to wait and see on that one, I'm afraid. Now, of course, judging from our top 10 list, the iPhone is very much on your minds, and so it wouldn't be a weekly roundup unless we had an iPhone story. So, Sean, take it away.
This was from last week, and it's really not unexpected at all. Most of you remember, iPhone comes out, there's talk about if you don't hold it correctly, you have issues with the reception, that sort of thing. Some of the early things that you can kind of expect with most phones.
Is it true that Apple actually said, we'll just hold the phone differently? Yeah. I've been away for this, so I missed the same news. They actually said that.
That's one of the suggestions. There are also the bumper cases that came out when they introduced the iPhone 4.
Oh, right, so you can buy an extra case and that's
you can also buy the extra case. That also helps solve it.
How fortunate, right, okay.
Yeah, so, of course, this being America, the land of rational responses to these sorts of things, they were immediately sued by several people. I did a posting on this in the Mac Inspector blog where I kind of share my feelings in a bit more direct manner, but
yes,
it seems like the sort of thing that people should really kind of expect when you buy a brand new thing the first few days it's out.
Yeah, I mean, you never, I'm sure you guys know this, but you never, ever buy version 1 of the product. And I was over in London for the iPhone launch and was shocked, really very shocked, the day after the iPhone launch, see people still queuing up outside the Apple Store, waiting for their phones. The temptation just to walk down these people and go, "Are you stupid? Wait 2 or 3 days," and just.
For some people, it's a whole event. I guess it's kind of like sitting outside for. Well, it's not like sitting outside for concert tickets because you can.
A concert is an unmissable thing. You can buy this thing at any time in the near future.
Yeah, I guess some people say it's the experience being around all these other, all your Apple fans and everything. And again, I don't really get it.
I kind of think if you're that excited to be queuing outside a shop, maybe you should get some friends who you can do exciting things with other than queue outside shops. Just a suggestion, it's just. Well, we'll see. I'm sorry. This is America, though, so they may well win. So we shouldn't be too cutting about them. But please get a life. And then finally, the fun story of the day. This has just popped up on the wires. I've just finished bashing out one on this. You may be familiar with Pirate Bay, which is the torrent directory site. You may also be familiar with the Pirate Party. We're in fact getting several European pirate parties springing up across the continent. Now, the Swedish Pirate Party has taken over as ISP for Pirate Bay. And if they win parliamentary elections in Sweden in September and actually get a member of parliament, then they're saying they can run the servers from inside the parliament using parliamentary privilege to ensure that the media industries can't touch them. Now, you and I have been laughing really rather quite hard about this.
If you want to spur the 18 to 25-year-old vote, that's a pretty good way to do it.
It put me in mind of during the last census in 2000 in the UK. The meme started that if enough people signed up as Jedi on their religious affiliation section of their form, then Jedi would become an official religion.
About that last month when they came over. But.
Oh, really? Oh, tempting. It's got to be. But yeah, as it turns out, I called the Home Office about it, and they were like, "No, it's silly. We're not going to do it." But which actually is sometimes that's very good thinking in a way. I can't help feeling from the Home Office, but it did mean that those of us, myself included, who did put down Jedi on the service on the census form, were slightly disappointed that we couldn't, form our own services and wear hooded cowls and go, "These aren't the droids you're looking for." But we'll see how this develops. But it's a good fun story. I recommend a read. Well, we'll be back in a fortnight's time with more views from the Valley. But until then, you can read about these and other stories at www.v3.co.uk.